Okay, good day everyone. So we're here once again for your gender and society subject, and we're discussing gender, work, and professionalism. All the other announcements or pertaining to previous lessons will be on the Gmeet for my students. So once again, welcome back to our class. Okay, now we're going to talk about gender, work, and professionalism. Okay, so first of all, we're discussing or reviewing what gender is. So it is the socially constructed roles and behaviors, expressions, and identities of girls, women, boys, men, and gender diverse people. So the photograph or the illustration attached herein indicates the third gender or our LGBTQIA plus community. So eto po ay pag-uusapan din natin sa chapter na to, how gender affects work and professionalism of all individuals. Now, please take down notes to my students. Please take down notes of the meaning of the following important terms. The first one was gender, which you already have in your notes, I'm sure, for all the chapters that we have discussed, included all the time the word gender. So here's another important term that you need to take down notes so that you can remember it, and also will be your guide. Your notes will be your guide for you to study your finals exam. So gender parity is the second terminology. So even according to the illustration, it concerns with the relative equality in terms of numbers and proportions of women and men, girls and boys, and is often calculated as the ratio of female to male values for a given indicator. For example, ano po yung mga given indicators na pwede po natin pagbasihan? So when we say gender parity, the difference ng number, ng proportion. For example, sa classroom, we only have for BTVTED students, we only have 5 male compared to 30 females. So, ganun po yung yung gender parity, the difference between them, between the number and the proportion. Pwede mo siyang gamitin percentage, pwede mo siyang gamitin as calculated numbers, certain numbers, or given indicator para po makita nyo yung difference ng number and proportion of men and women sa isang sitwasyon. The next terminology that we need to study is work. So work, it's to perform work or fulfill duties regularly for wages and salary. So anything that gives you or pays you money is considered work. Okay? So work or the fulfillment of your duties can be in wages or salary. Bakit po magkaiba wages and salary? Wages would be as per meaning of the word wages. It could be hourly, it could be different times kung kailan ka aabutan ng pera for the work or fulfillment of the duty that you gave to a certain person or employer. And whereas salary is may given period yon. If you're a salaried person, ibig sabihin, regular mong natatanggap in a proportion time kung kailan ang iyong sweldo, tulad ng 15 at katapusan. So, that's the difference between wages and salary. Wages is per hour, salary is for a longer time, at saka regularly. Wages, pwede ka bigyan sa isang oras na tinanabaho mo, for the 4 hours that you gave. So, yun po ang diferensya niya. Salary is, pag sinabi mo salaried, it's a regular, definite period of payment of your wages. Okay, so the third term that I need you to take down note of is gender equality. So, in case class na meron pa kayong tanong and more clarifications regarding a certain definition that I gave you of an important term, you can write down it in your notes para mamaya marireserve ninyo sa ating Gmeet yung inyong questions. Okay? Or pwede nyo rin pong i-address once you comment on the section. Later, comment on the comment section below kung ano yung inyong name, class, and question or additional info that you want to share. So, gender equality, besides being a fundamental human right, is essential to achieving peaceful societies with full human potential and sustainable development. Hindi lamang ang gender equality, hindi lamang isang human right, kundi ito rin po dapat ay nakakatulong, kumbaga, makakatulong ito na ma-achieve natin ang isang magandang potential ng isang tao At the same time, it's good for the sustainable development. Ano yung sustainable development? Yung tuloy-tuloy na pag-unlad ba? Hindi yung ngayon okay tapos hindi naman. Pero when we develop full human potential of each individual, makaka-contribute po ang bawat society, that group of people or humans na nagsama-sama para matulungan namang makapag-sustain kung ano man ang ating mga pangangailangan in the future. Now, there are 6 definitions of gender equality that I want to stress in our class. So, dapat daw ganito. So, I saw this picture in the Google, and this one I want to give stress in gender equality. So, number 1 is gender should have no barriers. Men and women can work in any job they desire. Kung gusto ko maging karpintero, I can be a karpintero. If I want to be an engineer, I can be an engineer. If I want to be an army, then I can apply in the army and train the army. If I want to be a policewoman, then I can be one. So men and women should have the jobs that they desire. Kahit anuman yung job na yon. So, ang lalaki, halimbawa ako lalaki, gusto ko namang magkaroon ng sariling parlor, kese hoda, dapat meron din pong karapatan ang mga lalaki na magkaroon ng sarili ng parlor at hindi lang barbershop, di ba? So, second one, in the definition of gender equality, there should be no pay discrimination. Men and women doing the same job should be paid the same. So, ito lang dapat ang mga iba pang example ng gender equality. Kung ang trabaho ni Juan ay ginagawa din ni Juana, then they should be paid the same. So, third one for gender equality is no representation gaps. So, the ratio of men and women is the same wherever you look for an employer or an institution. For example, dapat sa mga teacher, equal ang number ng men at ng women, hindi lamang babae ang ini-entertain. In the nurse sector as well, di ba? Ganun din, dapat equal number din ang babae at lalaki para mas malaling gawin yung mga nursing duties and obligations ng isang hospital or isang institution. So there should also be no sector gaps in gender equality. The ratio of men and women is the same in every sector of the community, of the economy. Ano ba yung mga example ng mga sectors in the economy natin, di ba? So meron tayong care, kumbaga sa education sector, meron tayong ano nga ba yan? Meron tayong economic sectors. Meron tayong mga production, meron tayong part ng production, meron tayong part ng meron tayong manufacturing, meron tayong services. So, iba-iba po ang sectors ng ating ekonomiya. So, our economy as 5 different sectors. Actually, nakikita ko nga dito, we have the primary until quinary. But, we can have mining, agriculture. So, marami pong example po yung iba't ibang sektor. So, sa bawat sector daw ng ating ekonomiya, dapat daw may babae or lalaki. At ito ay equal number. So, no employment gaps since the ratio of the women and men are 50-50 ang ratio po in all types of employment. So, in all aspects of life, number 6, there should be no life gaps. The ratio of men and women ay pareho po ang karapatan sa lahat ng aspeto ng buhay. Next one is gender equity. It means respecting all people without discrimination regardless of their gender. So, dito rin po makikita ang pag-a-address natin sa gender inequality na nakakalimit sa person's ability to access opportunities to achieve better health, education, and economic opportunity based on their gender. So, ito po ba ay saan ninyo makikita yung ganitong mga nagiging problema? Kasi ang gender equity ay nagbibigay ng access or opportunity para sa mga tao na meron pong limited sa iba't ibang aspeto tulad po sa education. Before, during the old times po, hindi pa pwedeng magsama ang babae at ang lalaki kasi because they receive different kinds of education. So, kung tulad namin, pinag-aralan namin ang history of education, nung panahon noon, lalaki lang ang pwedeng maging doktor. Lalaki lang pwedeng maging engineer. Lalaki lang pwedeng maging manggagamot. And women were never welcome in that sector of the economy. Pero ngayon, we all have better access to everything. Even women can compete for presidency, di ba? So, even sa pagiging pagkapangulo ng bansa natin, pwede na magpatakbong babae, di ba? So, it means that we have given opportunities, equal opportunities for both men and women, which we will discuss later na in every aspect po ng ating ekonomiya. So, what's the difference between gender equality and gender equity? So, ito po ang pinakamagandang illustration. So, in gender equity, we gave the opportunity. Lahat tayo kasi meron tayong abilidad, di ba? In gender equality, you give all what do you call this one? You give the equal opportunity for everybody. Pero, alam mong yung limit ng isang individual, yun naman ang pupunon mo gamit ang ating gender equity. So, yung kakulangan or the limitation of the other person ay ibinibigay mo yan, binibigyan mo ng opportunity ang tao para kumbaga lahat tayo may karapatan ng equality. But with equity, we give because of the limitation of a certain person sa kanyang education, sa kanyang health, and tulad dito, growth ng isang bata. So what we do is, we, due to gender equality, tayong merong kapasidad to help others, to push them up, will give that opportunity to the lesser, to the person na nangangailangan po ng better access. So, yung access natin, pwede natin i-share for those who are kulang or who are lacking in everything that we already have. Okay? Now, next terminology that we have, okay, later, meron ako pong tanong pa dito tungkol sa equality and equity, gender equality and gender equity. So, if you have further questions, please don't forget to write it down on your notes so that you can address it later in our Gmeet. The next terminology that I need you to give emphasis or to write down is professionalism. It has to do with the way a person conducts himself or herself in the workplace. So, professionalism is actually described in this way. So, a person should know how to have proper communication, teamwork, critical thinking, ethics, and humanness. So, ang mga ito, it all boils down to your professionalism. You should know how to communicate verbally and written, or you can also know how to communicate in your body language, how you show your how you show your professionalism in the way your facial expressions do. So kapag how your body moves, 'di ba? Yung sinasalita mong masaya kang nakikita ka, naka-customer service ka. I'm happy to see you today pero nakasimangot ka. It's also a way of developing your professionalism, the way you communicate well with people, okay? Next one is teamwork is included in a person's professionalism. Bakit? No man stands alone, especially in an organization where we are supposed to be answerable to our kumbaga, sa mga nakatataas sa atin as well as dun sa mga mas mababa sa atin. So, nandun po yung teamwork and we have we need the rank and file kung ikaw ang boss. Pag ikaw naman ang rank and file, kailangan mo rin yung boss mo. So, that's teamwork because each of the departments or each of the individual tasks that you do in an institution will create a better environment and better workplace para po sa inyong trabaho. Hindi yung nag-aaway-away kayo, 'di ba? Na magkasalubong kayo, nag-iiwasan kayo because you did not act professionally. So, trabaho lang ba? Walang personalan. So, that's teamwork. Kumbaga, lalo na 'di ba may mga team building tayo kasi pinopromote diyan na maging maayos ang samahan within a certain institution. So critical thinking is also very important for a person to be professional. 'Di ba iba pa nga nag-board exam because they should be able to think critically. Sa board exam lang 'di ba? Hindi mo rin masasagot yung mga situational na mga katanungan if you don't have critical thinking skills. Because you have to analyze the questions, the situations before you could give a correct answer. Ethics is also a part of professionalism. Yung walang away-away, you develop teamwork, you do what is right instead of wrong kahit hindi nakikita ng boss mo. You still work for what you still do what is right even though your boss does not see you. Kung natutulog ka, kung kinukuha mo yung office supplies, that's ethics is what you do when no one is looking at you. That's your character, and your character should know what is right and what is wrong all the time. So humanness also, lalo na to sa 'di ba wala namang extra points na maging mabait ka 'di ba? Pero kapag ikaw halimbawa boss ka na pala sigaw at ang employee mo ay paborito mong ipahiya, then I don't think you are showing professionalism in the first place, 'di ba? So humanness, like what? Kindness, perseverance, papakita mo 'yon na kahit bumabagyo maaraw, you love your job and pinapakita mong concern mo tulad halimbawa sa aming mga teacher. Kahit na walang internet, we still worry about you na hindi kayo nakakatapos, hahabulin namin kayo. So professionalism is also being concerned about other human beings, especially your workmates. Now, gender stereotypes in the workplace. Ito yung mga pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Ano yung pagkakakilala natin sa mga babae at lalaki sa trabaho? So, number 1, let's talk about women first. So, women in the workforce are often stereotyped into 4 stereotypes, into which is deeply gendered. So, number 1 is being a sex object. Number 2 being the mother. Number 3 being the child. And the 4th is the Iron Maiden. Ito po according to the study of Cantor, Wood, and Conrad noong 1970s pa. Pero, it's still applicable nowadays. So, the first stereotype that assumes women's value is defined by their sexual attractiveness. So, it usually leads to perceiving women workers based on their appearance rather than their qualification and job performance. In what way po? Tulad halimbawa, when I was working during my during my early 20s, okay, nung third year college kasi ako nito when I stopped with my nursing education at nag-decide akong maging history major. My mom did not what do you call this one? Did not support my remaining years in the college study kasi I gave up on my nursing course. I was already in the third year, first sem, going to second sem, and I quit. And I already have like my sisters are already in their second year kasi sunod-sunod kami magkakapatid na nag-college. So, nagsabay-sabay kaming 4 actually kasi ako third year, second year yung kapatid kong kambal, 2 sila. Then I have younger brother na first year college. So, parang sabi ng nanay ko, if you give up now, bahala ka na sa buhay mo, may 3 ka pang kapatid na kailangan kong pag-aralin. Kaya, when I have that decision that I will not go on and continue with the nursing course, then I stood on my own. So, balik tayo dun sa women workers are basing on their appearances rather than their qualifications to job performance. So, when this SM personnel, HR personnel, appeared sa labas kasi nakapila kami, holding our resumes or biodata, at the time, ang una nilang gagawin, kukunin yung paper mo, then paharapin kanila, and then titingnan nila, angat ng skirt mo. So, it's a requirement na naka-skirt ka pag nag-apply ka. So, pag angat ng skirt mo, they will look at your legs, kung ikaw ba ay maganda yung shape ng legs mo, or hindi ka ba maraming piso-piso sa legs. Kasi the uniform ng SM, you all know, is miniskirt. Although they have stockings, so parang siguro hindi ko, I don't know, but they are judging from your physical appearance, papatangat yung skirt mo, titingnan yung legs mo. At the same time, sunod na ngiti, smile. Pa-smiling ka, titingnan yung ngipin mo kung equal or hindi, or maayos o hindi. Pag sira-sira yung ngipin mo, then come back, magpapustiso ka muna, come back ka. Ikaw, kailangan mo muna magpa-fair ng konti pa ng skin mo kasi masyado. Hindi ka naman sasabing maitim, pero sasabihin ka na, okay, we'll call you. Ikaw pwede yung paayos mo muna yung ngipin mo, then come back. May ganun silang mga sinasabi. Also, di ba, sa mga bar, sa mga, di ba, mga GRO, what they do is, they hire women na mas malalaki ang boobs, or mas sexy, malalaki ang hips. Kasi, nandun yung sexual attractiveness na makakatawag ng mga customers sa bar. Di ba? So, this type of jobs or gender stereotyping of women are already prejudged na, kumbaga, di ba? Ay, isa pa, Mercury. Sa Mercury, kailangan nakalagay talaga sa qualification. Kaya I never dared na mag-apply noon kasi sabi, sa qualification, must be college graduate from ages ganito, ganyan. Sa dulo, fair skin. So, ibig sabihin, maputi lang. So people are always judging the qualification or putting into qualification sexual attractiveness or a person's attractiveness over their qualification and job performance. So, bakit ang mga morena ba hindi ba marunong magtrabaho ng tama, 'di ba? So, medyo nandun yung sorry for mentioning those companies, but they are actually my personal experience, and nakita ko naman po doon. Those are my personal experience when I was your age. Nang nag-start pa lang ako to look for part-time jobs and beginning pa lang sa buhay. Okay. So, in an institutional life, the other stereotype of women is as a mother. So, they are both figurative and literal forms. So, paano po ba mga employment na nagbibigay ng emotional labor? Kumbaga, ang mga nanay, ang mga kababaihan, in a way. Okay? Like the sector of teaching, di ba? Binibaby namin kayo. Kasi pag hindi namin kayo binibaby, gagalit kami sa inyo, nagalit din kayo. So, parang ganun po nagiging And women are more patient compared to men daw. So, siguro, the emotional labor, yan, yaya, katulong, mayordoma, usually are women. So, education, nursing, ano pa ba, na mga babae ang institutional life ng mga babae ang hinihingi. So, yaya, di ba? Usually, we hire female yaya na mag-alaga sa mga. Tulad namin, we are both working, mag-asawa. So, we hired yayas when my kids were still young. So, di ba? So, may yaya sila. So, ano kukunin ko? Babae o lalaki? Syempre, babae. Kasi, they take care because of their motherly stereotype ng mga kababaihan sa trabaho. So, the third stereotype naman na ini-impose natin sa babae ay being the child or the pet, cute, but not taken seriously. So, parang nandun kasi sa work natin, sa challenging work, tulad halimbawa, pinoprotektahan natin ang mga babae. Example, kapag ang babae ay isang construction worker or tricycle driver, di ba? We tend to think it odd or kumbaga parang kakaiba. And then ang instinct ng mga lalaki usually is to protect the women. In a way na kumbaga parang pag engineer ang babae, imbis na sige, lakad ng mga lalaki, ngayon pa nila nilingunin pa nila kasama nilang babae, di ba? Even in training for police officers or army, di ba? Yung mga babae mas pinoprotektahan ikumpara sa mga lalaki, 'di ba? So, nandun yung yung instinct sa mga challenging work na laging ang babae ay ano, kumbaga parang additional, gustuhin, hindi man nila gustuhin, nagiging ano sila, nagiging parang nagiging burden na bata. Nagiging, tinitreat silang parang bata sa kanilang workplace. So, that's how, kasi parang feeling nila, dahil babae, kailangan protektahan. So, ganun yung stereotype ko minsan sa mga kababaihan. Diba sa pagbubuhat, pareho kayong nagtatrabaho sa grocery store, 'di ba? Ang lalaki nagiging baggers, 'di ba? Kasi mas mabigat ang magbag ng groceries than to scan the items. So the fourth stereotype is being of women in the workplace is called ano, Iron Maiden. So sila yung mababaeng independent, ambitious, directive, competitive, and even sometimes tough can be seen as Iron Maiden. If you are watching right now, ha, pati ako hooked din, Queen of Tears, a K-novela na ano, series sa Netflix, di ba? So, the lady there, the main character is the boss of a big department store or the CEO of a big department store. And she's a woman, and the woman that is being feared kasi tough siya, tigasin siya. She never even smiles. Although she's a caring person, narinig niya na may problema yung tao. But ang kanyang ano sa CR, yung kanyang sales clerk, 'di ba? Ang ginawa niya, tinulungan niya ang 'di ba? So they thought she's very tough, pero nandun pa rin yung kindness niya. So ambitious siya, bakit? She wanted to become a member of the 1 trillion club. Yung mga taong kumbaga meron silang capacity to earn or earned 1 trillion won sa buhay nila. So, these are the women who are independent, ambitious, directive, competitive, and sometimes tough. Yung boss din sa ano, The Devil Wears Prada. 'Di ba? If you know that ano, matanda ng movie 'yon, but that one shows how the boss they think is very heartless, tulad ng lalaki at ambitious. So, isa 'yan sa mga example ng babaeng na stereotype as Iron Maiden. Now, let's go to the stereotypes of men. So, men are also stereotyped in ways that reflect their cultural, instructional, culture of masculinity and men's roles, and that how it affect how they are perceived in the workplace and how they are treated. So there are only 3 stereotypes: the sturdy oak, the fighter, and the breadwinner. So the sturdy oak is a self-sufficient pillar of strength who is never weak or reliant on others. When coworkers communicate that they think it is unmanly to admit doubts or ask for help, men may rule out consulting for advice or assistance. So, karamihan ng lalaki nagpapanggap na kayang-kaya nila lahat, di ba? So, the disadvantage of being self-sufficient pillar of strength is that hindi ka pwedeng magpakita ng kahinaan. So, yung mga lalaki, imbis na iiyak or sama ng loob or galit, what they do is they keep it to themselves. Kaya ang daming lalaki na mamatay sa heart attack, di ba? Kasi usually, they keep it to themselves. Unlike sa women, niiyak nila pag hindi na kaya. But men should be pillars of strength, di ba? Sabi nga ng isa kong estudyante before, ma'am, bawal po umiyak ang lalaki kasi yun ang tingin nila, kailangan laging strong. Yun po ang disadvantage sa stereotyping ng sturdy oak sa isang lalaki. Next one is that cultural stereotypes ay they cast men as fighter or brave warriors who go into battle, and whether it is a literal war or metaphorically speaking in professional life. So, ang mga lalaki kasi mula pagkabata, tinutrain na to be aggressive, right? To give them hell and to win at all cost, translate into professional expectations to beat the competition and to climb in the corporate ladder. Bakit ganun po? Kasi parang pag hindi lumalaban ng lalaki, pag hindi aggressive, parang feeling natin siya, 'di ba, lampa, mahinang klase, 'di ba? So what we do is that children or men or boys are trained to be aggressive even during their childhood and to be competitive at all times. So ito, mga lalaki, they're expected to be fighters or brave battles, na kung ano man ang ibigay mong trabaho sa kanila, kaya nila, di ba? So they are trained to win, trained to give them hell, trained to be successful. Kasi yun ang ini-expect sa kanila. Next one is breadwinner. So, kahit naman tayo, di ba? Lahat tayo, hindi langid sa kultura ng Pilipino that men are the breadwinners. And usually, ang unang nagkakaroon ng job or the first person sa mag-asawa, priority po maghanap ng trabaho ay ang tatay. So perhaps no other stereotype is strongly defines and confines men in our society as that of the breadwinner. So stereotyping men as breadwinners has been used to justify paying them more than women. Wow. So they have more opportunities in the professional growth compared to women daw. That is actually based on the 2013 study of Weber. So this stereotype is also why men are expected to put work ahead of family time. So ang pagiging breadwinner usually may iba kasing lalaki ayaw nila nagtatrabaho yung asawa. But nowadays, 10 years after the study of Weber, ayan, 2024 na tayo, I think equal opportunity. Pero kahit na tingnan mo sa neighborhood mo. Ako tinitingnan ko dito sa neighborhood ko. Ilan lang po ang mga asawa na talagang they go out and work. Mamaya pag-usapan natin why they are different in the politics, in education, and in all the opportunity to work, di ba? So, tingnan natin yan mamaya. So, those are the 3 stereotypes. So, number 1 is sturdy oak. Number 2 is fighter or brave warrior. And the 3rd is breadwinner. So, gender patterns in the organization. Let's talk about them next. Okay, so, if I were to ask you to take a stand, to what extent do you see the tendency of women to downsize careers if they have children as a personal choice? So, ano naman po yung difference na notice nyo sa career choices ng mga tatay kapag sila ay ng mga lalaki kapag sila ay nagiging tatay? So, pag-uusapan natin dito, gender patterns in the organizations kapag ito ay lalaki at married or babae na married or dalaga. So, pag-usapan po natin. So, there are certain formal and informal practices na pinapractice po ng ating gender patterns po na mahihanap sa bawat organization or institution. We have the formal practices which includes policies regarding leaves, work, schedules, performance reviews, who reports to whom, and so on. So, ito yung hierarchy ng officers. Halimbawa, opisyales sa isang organization. We also have informal practices such as normative behaviors and understandings that are not covered by explicit policies. Example, sino nagbibigay ng advice, to whom, and mentoring, sino nagtuturo, ito trabahong bago, may bago tayong iti-training. Sino magtuturo nito? Socializing, after work, saan tayo magkikita-kita, team building tayo, o naman tayo, celebrate tayo. Oy, ninang ka ng anak ko ha. So those are part of the informal practices within an organization. As we will see, both formal and informal network entail gender dynamics. So nandun po yung papasok ulit yung gender. Kasi dito po sa mga practices na to. So, in formal practices, we have yung leave policy, di ba? Meron tayong, ano pa bang ibang mga leave, di ba? We have the sick leave, we have the, wait lang ha. Okay, formal practices. So, sick leave, leave policies. Meron tayong sick leave, meron tayong maternity leave, meron tayong paternity leave, emergency leave, study leave. Okay, so iba't ibang klase po yan, and they are all rules or policies na talaga na pinipirmahan natin kapag tayo ay pwede sa SS, pagbasihan, sa GSIS, sa other institutions that are involved in our organization or institution. So, sick leave kapag may sakit ka. Emergency leave kapag may pupuntahan ka or may emergency nangyari na kailangan kang lumiban sa trabaho. And we also have your maternity and paternity leave. Your maternity leave ay 60 days for normal delivery and 30 days for, 90 days or 3 months for cesarean delivery sa SS and GSIS. Paternity leave, father has only 7 days, di ba? So, iba. Kita nyo, ang policy sa babae ba sa lalaki, especially in paternity and maternity leave, nagkakaiba. So, di ba, 1 linggo lang ang tatay, bakit 2 buwan yung nanay? Okay, but at least, no, dati wala ang paternity leave eh. It's nice that the father already has rights. So, leave policies allow employees to take time off, either paid or unpaid, under a number of different circumstances. So, primary purpose of paid annual leave is to allow and encourage employee to renew his physical and mental capabilities and to remain a fully productive employee. So, ang annual leave actually, guys, if you are working tulad po ng mga office work, you have, in the government, you have 14 days na annual leave. Nasa iyo yan if you want to use it or later on, i-convert mo ito into credit. Kumbaga parang magiging cash. Mako-convert into cash and then you can use it on your retirement. Diba? So, itong annual leave na yan, kapag hindi mo naman kapag ginamit mo, you're allowed to 14 days leave. So, tulad namin ng mga teachers, we have 2 months. 2 months na leave. Kaya hindi kami binibigyan na ng 14 days na annual leave kasi meron na kaming 2 months or 60 days na pahinga in 1 year. So, kapag lahat kami umabsent kami within the other days na hindi dun sa summer namin, then nagiging nagiging kaltas po yan sa aming sweldo. So, work schedule, usually, women tend to be working earlier. Ewan ko ba? I don't know Pero sometimes, magkaiba po ang schedule ng babae at lalaki. In what way? So, this include the days of the week and times of the day that a particular employee is scheduled to work at a job. So, traditional full-time work sa US, kahit dito sa Philippines, is 5-8-hour days. So, rigid schedules are another way in which organizations reflect outdated career models that assume men are breadwinners and women were at home taking care of families. So, itong mga schedules, wala itong pakialam kung anong role mo. Ikaw ba ang babae? Ikaw ba ang lalaki sa pamilya? Wala na po. So, ang nangyayari ay obligado ka. If you're 8 to 5, kailangan umalis ka na ng bahay ng 6 or 7 para hindi ka malate. So, babae ka man o lalaki. Kaso, medyo baka hindi niya pansin, mas malaming late ang babae. Why? Ang mga men kasi, katapos nilang asikasuhin na yung sarili nila, okay na. Ang babae, gigising ng mas maaga, magluluto ng baon, maghahanda para sa mga pangangailangan ng anak. Pareho naman kayong 8-hour na pasok, di ba? So, pero ang babae, mas marami pang obligasyon before going to work. So, yun, ang work schedule, sino bang unang ma-absent kapag may sakit yung anak? Nakagbibisa yung mag-asawa, may sakit ang anak, sino may iwan? Nanay. Sino ang usually nagpapaiwan? Nanay. Kasi ang breadwinners ay tatay. So, men are expected not to have any kaltas at all, while women, parang okay lang. Di ba? So, medyo nandun yung nakikita din natin na mga gender patterns na kumbaga nagpapakita ng gender inequality, di ba, in the organization. Informal practices. Okay. In addition to formal practices, organizations have informal unwritten understandings that can make or break careers. So, ito yung iba, normative practices na, yung iba naman, pinaglalaban naman ay bigyan naman ng opportunity lahat. So, ang isang informal practice dito ay unwelcoming environment for women. So, in some organization, language and behavior that emphasize men's experience and interests are normative. For example, di ba, pare-pareho kayo nagtatrabaho sa factory. Tapos may babaeng pumasok. Ang factory na yan ay factory ng mga kahoy. So, pag nakikita ninyo yan, di ba, parang ma-OP ang babae. Kasi it's a job for men which requires more physical strength. Kaya, ang babae parang na-OP, unwelcoming environment for women. Next one. Masculine norms in professional life. And although because men and not women design the workplace, mula sa stockyard hanggang sa korporasyon, ang mga blueprint nito ay masculine ang norms sa isang workplace. For example, may smoking area. Usually men smoke, 'di ba? Most of these norms are not intentional. They are powerfully shaped expectation for conduct in the workplace. While examine two masculine norms that pervade in the workplace. Limbawa, ano pa bang example ng mga workplace? Gym. May gym. Ang babae, nag-gym din naman, di ba? But, it's primarily, kumbaga, parang, usually, caters to men. Mas maraming lalaki sa gym yan, di ba? Ano pa, lifting heavy objects and boxes. Also, decision making in the corporate world mas binibigyan ng emphasis sa mga kalalakihan, di ba? So, engineers who design the workplace tend to also incorporate their masculine taste, di ba? So, parang ganun po. Usually, nagiging mas priority ang masculine norms sa professional life compared sa women. So, the skill required to manage and lead are widely associated with communication traits na lagi po ay usually focuses on masculine speech rather than feminine assertiveness, independence, competitiveness, and confidence. To the extent that women engage in traditional feminine communication, hindi man sila ma-recognize as leader. Kasi iba yung pananalita ng babae, common na babae, and the feminine way of communication kaysa sa lalaki, which has leadership and firmness. Mas medyo nag-advance po ang professional life ng isang lalaki kumpara sa babae. Women in the global economy, let's talk about them. This is actually chapter 6 sa inyong research, di ba? So, women in the global economy, let's take a look for the 2021 gender gap report. Okay. Ay, hala, baka nandun sa sunod na slide yung gender gap. Okay, work is understood. Nasaan yung gender gap ko? So, mamaya siguro madadaanan natin yan. Gender gap. Okay, baka nailagay ko sa bandang baba. But let's talk about women first. Okay. In the Philippines, based on the 2021 Global Gender Gap Report, so these are the following key indicators that women, kumbaga ay nabibigyan natin ng opportunity ang mga babae dito sa Philippines or gender equality natin. So ito yung natin, ang rank natin from sa World Economic Forum. So out of the world, sa world usually 150 countries or more or less 150 countries. We rank 14 in the economic participation and opportunity given to women, both equal to men and women. So educational attainment naman natin 37%. Okay, 14 and 18, 37 and 39. So educational attainment natin mababa, no? So ibig sabihin mas maraming lalaki ang marunong. I don't know, but compared to other countries, we rank 37. Sa health and survival, naku, mas mababa. No? We rank 41. 41st and 34th in 2020 and 2021. Sa political empowerment, we rank 29th and 32nd and 33rd according to World Economic Forum. Ano yun? Ibig sabihin, hindi tayo makapag number 1. Number 1 yata ay Iceland. Okay, so here's the other information that I found. In the Philippines, ang gender gap natin, number 1 tayo sa Asia. But number 17 tayo out of 156 countries. And that includes all the countries in the world who participated in the gender gap, global gender gap report. So, we are number 1 in Asia. Mas open-minded tayo, okay, compared to other countries. In Asia, like Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, and all other neighboring Asian countries. So, we're number 1 in Asia. Wow, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, nandun talaga yung we're working it out. Kasi, nagiging equal ang opportunity halos ng babae at lalaki. In Asia. But in global, we only rank 17. Okay, so let's check about women and work. Work is often understood as livelihood, and while both men and women have problems concerning work, women have specific labor issues related to their gender. So let's see the main previews. So uh, number one, so there are fewer women than men at work. So despite na ang babae ang tinatawag nating vulnerable employment or work on their own, uh, kumbaga parang they are in the service sector such as education, social work, healthcare, and domestic work in private household. Kumbaga meron tayong occupational segregation of women. Sila yung vulnerable employment daw kasi we often participate or work on our own account. O 'di ba kapag nagyaya ka sa isang bahay, o you are on your own. Tapos bakit 'di ba? So healthcare, social work, education. These are all parang na-segregate natin na babae trabaho 'yan. Anong gusto mo magpaglaki mo? Gusto ko maging nurse. Kaso lalaki ka, mag-engineer ka na lang. Okay? So what we think is the most vulnerable employment, pag-take care ng mga bata, the minds of the children, usually binibigay sa babae, di ba? Sa mga women. Next is the Philippine Statistics Authority reported the following data. Women in education na tayo. Okay, so women in education, 68 million in actually pa to parang luma na to, 10 years ago. So Filipinos aged 10 years and over are literate na. So, out of this, mas malaki ang basic literacy ng women. Ano yung basic literacy? Sila yung elementary and high school. So, mas mababa siguro yung percentage ng lalaki. It's because mas kumbaga mga lalaki kasi hindi masyado lahat focus pagdating sa pag-aaral, 'di ba? And women have higher basic literacy and numerical skills than men. Pero sa pagdating ng tertiary education, mas malaki ang percentage ng mga lalaki. Why? Mas pinupursue sa 10 years or 20 years ago. Mas pinupursue na ang mga lalaki ay mag-aral. Kasi they are going to be fathers or breadwinners in our cultural society, di ba? Culture ng Pilipino, lalaking pinabibigyan ng importansya kasi balang araw sila magkakapamilya, sila tatayo na breadwinner ng kanilang pamilya. So, rationale and background, ito, ang DepEd nagbigay na nga rin ng order in 2017 to have responsive basic education policy. So, meron din pong mga American psychological associations na nagbibigay ng guidelines for psychological practice with lesbians, gay, and bisexual clients. So, sa DepEd order, nag-establish din po tayo ng Gender and Development Focal Point System at meron na rin po tayong Child Protection Policy. Dito tayo sa child protection policy na to, which is very controversial, like corporal punishment, tapos yung titigan mo ng estudyante, child protection policy agad. I don't know. But I don't like that. Child protection policy is usually abused right nowadays. What is gender-responsive education? So it addresses gender-based barriers. Ano yung barriers na gender-based? Gender-based barriers are like pwede rin sa physical, pwede rin sa emotional, pwede rin sa psychological part. Okay. In physical, halimbawa mga babae, hindi natin pinapasali sa ROTC or CAT in high school. So it also respects gender differences as part of learner's identity. Okay? So, gender differences as part of learner's identity. Boys can think on the right side of the brain, women on the left. So, medyo medyo ina-apply na rin po natin yan. Education structure, systems, and methodologies to be sensitive to gender. It ensures gender parity is part of a wider strategy to advance gender equality. O, gender parity, the ratio of men and women in a certain institution. So, it involves to close gaps and eradicate gender-based discrimination. Okay, tulad nito, CHED has been responsive by doing or adding your gender and society subject in your curriculum. Okay, women and politics. The 2016 election show that mas marami ang male voters compared to female registered voters in 2016. So, sa election also, 25% of those elected in the Senate and 27 of those of the House of Representatives are women. So, mas malaki pa rin ang percentage ng men. Okay, tulad nito, during the time of Duterte po ito and Robredo. So, president, we have one. Nung time na to, 2020 yata ito eh. So, one president, one vice na babae. So, makikita nyo po, ilan number ng senators na babae, ilan na number ng senators na lalaki. So, in that way, nakikita nyo yung difference. 23% during the time of President Duterte, mas marami talaga lalaki compared to babaeng politicians. Okay? Gender pay gap. Yan. Philippine falls further in Global Gender Gap Report. Ano po yung gender pay gap? Ang gender pay gap ay actually ito yung yung iba yung nagiging sweldo ng babae at ng lalaki. And paano po ito nangyayari? For example, no, yung tulad ng example ko sa inyo kanina, na ang babae ay binibigyan, usually in absences or promotion, it's always the lalaki or the male is given the more prerogative to have the promotion as well as hiring. Kasi ikaw halimbawa, I have an applicant, I'm a principal, and I have an applicant who is a woman and also a man at their marrying age. O mag-asawa sila, pareho sila nag-apply. Who will I hire? Of course, I will hire lalaki kasi mas madaming absent or late yung babae. Kasi kapag nagkapamilya, dahil may pamilya sila, may sakit, may maliliit silang anak, usually it's the mother who sacrifices the profession or the day at work. So, mayroon din akong problemahin na maternity leave kapag nabuntis uli yung aking employee. Magkakaroon pa ako ng sakit pa ng ulo ko, maghahanap pa ako ng kapalit niya for 3 months. Diba? So, mayroong ganung mga global gender gap. So, bakit? Because women was in charge of the home, both in its upkeep and child rearing, kaya wala naman pong nare-reflect na iba yung hindi na nagtatrabaho. Eventually, the woman gives up work para sikasuhin po yung anak, di ba? So, na second one, kung bakit may gender pay gap, employers generally prefer to hire male workers as they will not take maternity leaves and are less likely to take other parenting-related leaves. The next one reason is because of traditional family setup where the husband is the breadwinner and the wife is the homemaker. Society, tayo mismo in general is more willing to give higher salaries to male employees, di ba? Moreover, on the employees' part, females are also less likely to negotiate their salaries. So, since alam ni babae na hindi niya priority yung trabaho, mas hindi sila nagdi-demand ng sweldo. Hindi tulad ni lalaki, I'm doing this best. I'm doing my best. I'm sacrificing my family time. O, ito hinihingi kong salary. Okay, di ba? So, they usually negotiate. So, there are certain efforts to redress gender inequality in institutions. So, ito po yun. There are following potential strategies to address gender issues. Dito lang mismo sa Philippines muna tayo, ha? So, implementing policies to address the gender wage gap such as equal pay laws and mandatory gender pay gap reporting. So, meron na po kasing gender forum na part ng government na kailangan. Tulad natin sa school, hindi pwedeng wala tayong gender development office. 'Di ba? Sa elementary, meron din na po yan. So, mandatory na po na makikita natin kung ano yung mga differences between male and female employees. 'Di ba? Nire-report yan hanggang sa salary. So, number 2, institutions also provide more support for survivors of gender-based violence, including counseling services and legal aid. Di ba sa dami ngayon ng mga batas? Ayun, assignment nyo yun later. Ano po yung mga counseling services and legal aids that are given to survivors of gender-based violence, including rape victims, including incest victims? Ano ba yung mga binibigay ng gobyerno? Yung mga nabugbog ng mga LGBTQ, support for the LGBTQIA plus communities. Ano yung mga policies na po-provide ng ating government or ng institution? Like for example, sa school, kung may problema ka sa sexual harassment, you go to your guidance counselor. Kung hinaharas ka ng teacher mo, ng iyong parents, you go to your guidance counselor. Or kung gusto mo kasuhan, punta ka sa barangay, and then the barangay will hold hearings, restraining orders, and then or else bring you to a higher court. That would be para makakulong po yung sino mang gumagawa sa inyo ng kabulastugan. So investing in education and awareness raising campaigns to prevent gender-based violence. Ano po 'yon? Ano po 'yon? Personally, kayo po ano po ba yung awareness ninyo? Ano yung mga kampanya ninyo na hindi mangyari yan? Ano yung ginagawa niyo sa buhay niyo para hindi kumbaga to increase awareness of others sa gender-based violence? Kayo mismo, are you a victim of gender-based violence, di ba? Kung kayo ay biktima, there are ways of addressing these issues. Okay? So, lalapit po kayo sa inyong mga teacher, lapit sa parents ninyo. So, ano yung campaign personally? Halimbawa, parents mo mismo, nanay mo mismo, binubugbog ng tatay mo. So, ano kung gagawin mo personally? Also promoting gender diversity in political representation and leadership positions through affirmative action policies. Okay, political representation, leadership, welcome ng mga babae, di ba? Pwede ng babae si Kap, pwede ng babae si president natin sa bansa, di ba? Addressing cultural and societal norms that reinforce gender inequality, addressing or pinupuna natin ang mga gender inequality through education and awareness raising campaigns. Tulad no yung isang third gender na hindi po winelcome sa CR ng female dahil ayaw niya na mag-CR sa male because she considers herself a woman. Diba? Right now, the government has policies about it. O kayong mga mall, magkaroon kayo ng third gender na CR. Diba? So, usually, we have that. We address that also. So, ngayon, for your assignment, okay, ilalagay ko po to sa GCR nyo and how can we overcome gender inequality in politics, work, and education. So, give at least 5 ways that you think are practical ways to do. Yung sa'yo as an individual, and then give at least 5 ways that the government is implementing or addressing to promote gender equality. Ano yung mga policies ng gobyerno? Kasi ito parang opening na rin to sa ating last chapter, which is laws and policies that govern gender equality or protects your rights in your gender roles and pagkakakilanlan mo. Okay? So, kumbaga ano yung binibigay ng gobyerno na tulong para ma-promote ang gender equality. So, I hope you will do this research. Sakto, 1 hour na naman po ang lecture ni Ma'am. So, I hope to see you in the GMeet for further announcements and also kung ano man yung mga kasi ito, I don't want to give other announcements here kasi kailangan dun tayo sa time na magagamit natin yung GMeet natin kasi from time to time nagiging iba yung mga deadlines nyo and other assignments and other tasks in your subject with me. So, thank you very much for actively listening. Alam ko po mas maganda sana yung pero after this one, in our review in the next GMeet, doon ako magtatanong sa inyo what you learned from this lecture video. So, thank you so much for spending time with me today and to listen to this lecture and I hope you learned something. If you have further questions, write it under the comment section below or you can also address it to me in our GMeet in the next session of our classes. So goodbye and thank you once again. Have a great day.